BlizzCon was all right. I think I called it earlier when I said, like, this is going to be a make your own fun kind of year. This year, I was like, there's not going to be many announcements, and I think I was right. I miss the days when BlizzCon was every 2 years, because back at the beginning, BlizzCon was every other year, and every other year they had some amazing stuff to announce. And now they have BlizzCons, even if they don't have shit to announce. And I think that's, you know, I think that's less for us and more for investors. Oh, I played vanilla WoW, and I am like, all right, well, I'm done. I played all I need to play. I played it years ago. I don't need to play it anymore. I'm fine. What do I think of Warcraft 3 Remastered? It's dope. It's really fun. We got to play the Calling of Stratholme, and it's the exact same battle, the exact same thing where you have to stop Mal'Ganis. It just looks better. The one thing that I remembered that I was like, oh no, that I wish they would change, although I don't think they can because it would mess with the back end, is you can only select 12 units at a time, I believe. Which means if you're making a huge army to go do anything, you're control 1ing, control 2ing, control 3ing, control 4ing, which is, I mean, back then, when that game came out, was awesome and revolutionary, and now is a giant pain in the ass. I do not hate, yeah, that stuff sucks. So I wish they would fix that. But I like how I was just watching the stream, and you can't see that I was pressing the keys, and I was like, control 1ing, control 2ing. That's what this is all you saw. Is me losing my mind. You do have a mobile phone. Ouch. I do have a mobile phone. Yo, for real talk, though, about this whole Diablo thing, I think the whole Diablo thing is like Blizzard said in October there was going to be no Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. And so at that point, I was like, okay, it's going to be Diablo, maybe an animated show, or Diablo on Switch, and then something else. And I think I was pretty much on the money. I'm not going to lie. It was something else. It was something that I don't think any of us saw coming. But, like, it's fine. Diablo 4 is still going to exist. It's not going to not exist. I can understand how people be angry because they made it the last thing and they hyped up the reveal of something special. I think the big thing that they screwed up on was the presentation. I don't think Blizzard should be beating themselves up over Diablo Mobile, even though the internet will do that for them. I definitely think they should beat themselves up over the presentation, because without Metzen, maybe Jeff Kaplan is the only one left who really has like a presence on stage, right? There's no one left. If you watch that opening ceremony, every host was like a little stage frighty, a little awkward, a little like I'm trying to stick to the teleprompter. And it was rough. It was rough to watch. The big thing that, and this is something that I don't know if you guys noticed this, because I know most of you probably weren't there. So let me like run down the opening ceremony for you, because it was like, oof. So, the way it started was they had, they had Mike Morhaime come out. And that was like a big, like, hey, we're going to say goodbye to Mike. This is pretty interesting. So Mike comes out and he does his whole, like, spiel for the investors or whatever. And he does his, like, thank you, it's been fun, but I'm leaving. Here comes J. Allen Brack, who's going to take over as president. And so he came out, and from what I hear behind the scenes, what was supposed to happen, because all of us in the audience, if you were in the front in range of the camera, you had paper that you would hold up over your head. And if you were in the back, you had glow sticks, right? And so the papers, when held up over the head, if you panned out to the entire crowd, said, thank you, Mike, right? But what ended up happening is the angles of the cameras were all wrong. So all you saw were white papers, and it looked like some weird cult shit. And from stage, the lights were blinding them, so they couldn't see what was what the audience had. And so they kept this as a secret from Mike Morhaime, apparently, where Mike was not at all aware this was going to happen. And so he froze up on stage, and J. Allen Brack started to like pull him over. And what happened is Mike Morhaime just froze. And so J. Allen Brack's like, he can't see the teleprompter. Apparently he had a speech prepared and everything, but he couldn't see the teleprompter. So what ended up happening is he was like, you made all of this. You did this. And Mike Morhaime goes, what did I do? Because he can't see anything. So none of them know what's going on. And then from the camera angles, all you see is white on the paper. And all the glow sticks in the back were not picked up at all. At all on camera. So it was just a shit show. And so he walked off, and I think J. Allen Brack was still shaken up about how that totally failed. And so the rest of his opening was kind of like, right? And so then what ended up happening is they went through the WoW announcements, which really was nothing that we didn't already know, which again is why I think we should have it every other year. So they did Heroes of the Storm, which had like a pretty interesting announcement. I was like, oh my god, they just made a League of Legends character. After that, they went over to the Hearthstone area. So for those of you who don't know, BlizzCon is separated into 4 giant halls. Technically, it was 5 this year. 5 giant-ass halls. And each hall has a giant-ass stage, and each giant-ass stage is themed around one of their games. So they have a giant-ass Hearthstone arena area. They have a giant Overwatch arena area. They have a giant area for the StarCraft and Heroes tournaments. They have a giant area for Warcraft, and they have a giant main stage, right? And so Hearthstone, the guy came out, started to do his thing. I don't know what translated over to the stream, but to everyone watching in all the other arenas besides the main Hearthstone one, we heard nothing. It was completely silent. And so what ended up happening is about 5 minutes into his presentation, they pulled the plug on that poor dude, and then immediately were like, Jeff Kaplan! And Jeff comes out, and Jeff destroys it, right? Announces amazing stuff, was killing it with Overwatch, and they're like, okay, now let's go back to Hearthstone. And it's at that point the entire thing was derailed, because in my mind, if I was putting this show together, Hearthstone would have been God damn it, Overwatch would have been last, because Overwatch was the big thing this year, right? But for some reason they go back to Hearthstone, which was like, all right, there's a troll expansion coming. That's cool. And then they're like, all right, and now Diablo. And the announcement for Diablo was poor Wyatt. God, that he's such a nice man, forced to do the worst job. He comes out and you knew there was going to be nothing to show when he literally spent 3 minutes giving the backstory of Diablo. He was like, heaven, hell. You're like, oh, fuck me. Like the minute you heard that, you're like, they're not going to show you anything. Now, the video for the Diablo game they showed was cool looking. It was great. It was like an awesome cinematic, but they announced a Diablo mobile game and then that was it. And they didn't, I don't know what they were thinking. I think on the inside, they truly thought that because of the message they put online, that people understood they weren't going to get any Diablo news. But I don't know why they would insist on making Diablo the final announcement then, right? It definitely seems very weird. And I think 2 things happened that are really dumb. One, they put the Diablo panel immediately afterwards. So there was still shock and anger in some of the audience. And then they let people randomly just come up and ask questions. And the people who came up were the trolliest, meanest people I've ever seen. And so I think it shook the Blizzard devs and kind of made them angry. And I think their responses are part of that. And I feel like when you are in an uncontrolled environment like that, you can say, Lord knows I've responded to things that I thought I was I'm going to be real witty and get them. And I feel like him being you don't have a phone? I feel like that kind of shit is unfortunate, because I know they aren't trying to be assholes. They goofed hard. But at the same time, we're getting Diablo 4. So while I can understand people being upset about not getting what they wanted, you're not getting it forever. It will come out. But they just didn't have anything to show you. And people are pissed. I don't know. I'm not too upset about Diablo. I think I made my opinions clear, and I think I myself got a little out of hand when I was like, you deserve to be pissed if you're, it happens. But, yeah, I think people just got worked up, and it's like, calm down. It'll be okay. I don't play mobile games, so I probably won't play the Diablo mobile game. I think the fact that it exists, it opens up an audience, like a new audience, that they would not have before, because a lot of people play mobile games more so than play computer games. So, like, I get that people are pissed, but I'm not, and I genuinely don't care, so that's just me. Even worse than geek is, see, time and perspective may have made me forget about the geek is year. I don't remember what the hell they showed that year. Yeah, that was also a bad one. Geek is was also a bad year too, but this seemed worse than geek is, not because of content, because the geek is year had very little actual content there, but Metzen himself propelled that opening ceremony to make it at least entertaining. And this year, they didn't have anyone. They have like Jeff Kaplan is the only personality they have right now on the developer side. And as much as I love all the WoW team, there is no one on the WoW team that has that flair, right? They have characters. That the WoW team is filled with characters that are fun, but no one has the Metzen, right? There is no Metzen character there, which is, I sadly think, why they default to Darren DePaul to be the mayor of BlizzCon, because he is this character that they managed to hire on to literally present everything because he's energetic and entertaining, but it's like not a developer. Ben Brode was another great example. Ben did all the announcements and all the, like, Ben was great. He's gone. All these people are gone and have moved on, and I feel like right now at Blizzard, there's like an energy missing. Not from the games, like I'm enjoying WoW more than I ever have. So I'm not saying like the overall company. I mean, like, the face of the company is missing an energy that I don't know. Jeff is amazing. He's phenomenal. I think nothing but great high thoughts of him. But he clearly can't be the face of everything because he's only working on Overwatch. They need someone who is like, they need to get J. Allen Brack into some like acting classes and get him up on stage and come out and be like, for the Horde, bitches! Like, do a whole thing. Was this the first time they've been booed at BlizzCon? This was absolutely the first time. I thought it was crazy that BlizzCon went hard on this is home. This is a community. This is something that we are very proud of. And the community's response to the convention was, boo! You know what else got a fucking boo? Oh my god, I forgot about this. My brain just died. At the WoW Q&A, someone stood up and was like, what are you guys doing about toxicity in chat channels? And literally the crowd, boo! Like, people booed that. I was blown away. Thankfully, Ian Hazakassis was just like, we're working on it. We agree. Well, I'd rather lose an asshole than people who, want to play but don't want to play with, like, dicks. And I was like, I mean, good on them. But the fact that the audience turned against that question was wild. That was wild. I was like, oh, my God. I'm not going to get friends on the internet for this, but I definitely 100% think it's the fault of the WoW community right now. The number one videos on the internet for WoW are angry videos. Videos about how the game's bad, video about how it's broken, how it's not the WoW it used to be. Like, that kind of, like, make Azeroth great again hats were at BlizzCon. Like, that was a thing. And I think that because of the anger level of some of the streamers and YouTubers about the game, it seeped over into chat, and they truly are, like, mad at the developers. And so they came to BlizzCon angry and looking for shit to be mad about. And I don't know. It's sad that that's the way it is. Quality is entirely subjective. There's people making videos about how BFA is the worst WoW expansion ever, and I'm over here like, I love this expansion. I'm having a great time. This is the most fun I've had in WoW in years. And people are like, it's terrible. I'm like, all right. but it's subjessy. I think the entitlement comes from paying $200 to go to the con in the first place.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I disagree.
$200 just because you're supposed to love something. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I disagree as well. Thank you, Kristen. I think that's incorrect. I think it's silly that people are as upset as they are, but I definitely think that the overall con was not as great as it could have been. So like, I don't know. I'm like on a weird middle ground where like I don't give a shit about Diablo Mobile, but I don't think it's a problem either. But also, there's no middle ground.
You're not in a middle ground. You're just an adult. I don't.
What was that, Kristen? Hold on. This is brand new. Breaking news from Kristen Delgado. What am I? What was that word?
You're an adult.
That's right. I'm an adult. Holy shit. When that happened? There's no middle ground. You're just an adult. That's the quote of the day. That's a solid ass quote. That's a solid ass quote.
You know, where's the payoff? Bring the strippers and booze. We do occasionally talk about video games. Bring the strippers and booze. Out of time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
It's a collection of broadcasts.
Yeah, now sing the music.
It's a collection of broadcasts.
Bring the strippers and booze.
It's a collection of broadcasts.
I'm here to ask and answer one simple question.
It's a collection of broadcasts.
You